you again.
Thank you, likewise. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a year, but we've known each other a few years, and I'm glad to be here.
I want to hear about you, how you passed through all the transformation. You came here to find out more about my treatment or anything else. Just share in a few words.
Sure, yeah. When I came to Dubai, I saw your website. I think you popped up on my Instagram, right? And I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. I saw what you were doing. And I was like, okay, let me reach out. And, so I remember just sending you a DM, and I was just like, hey, I really think what you're doing is really interesting. I would love to come and meet you. And I thought, okay, at worst, I'll just meet another spiritual person on the journey, but at best, it would be something more. And I remember coming here, and in hindsight, when I look at my mind, how it was back then, there was a lot of cloudiness, there was a lot of entanglement with various thoughts. I felt like I was like a drone, always just going through the motions of life, but never free mentally, right? And why wasn't I free mentally? You're not free because I felt like in hindsight there was a lot of maybe trauma that I hadn't worked through. There was a lot of issues that were subconscious that I hadn't dealt with. And I remember when we first did our session, and it was such a short session, but it felt like I'd had the deepest sleep ever, right? And I was like, something has happened in my mind at a subconscious level, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but I know something had happened, right?
Yeah, and let me remind you, that
please.
day, you've been trying to control, right? Just saying yourself, just relax. But then you said how can you tell yourself to be relaxed? Just relax, just a state.
Exactly.
I want you, please tell me more about that state so our followers would understand what does it really means. Just let go, be surrounded, and be present at this moment.
But it's a great question. It's like I think about it. If you try to sleep, you cannot sleep.
Right.
You just sleep because you let go, and I think when I met you, I was comfortable enough to let go. When usually in these settings, sometimes it's like, okay, well, you're scared of judgment. You're fearful of what people will uncover in you. You're fearful of what you will realize within yourself. But when I met you, I felt comfortable enough to actually just let go. And then when I let go, it was like I was able to surrender to someone who I trusted, someone who I felt like has the experience better than I did in this field, and it was with that surrendering that I was able to let go of the control, right?
After the first session, I have advised you to do meditation. Because as usual, as most people in Dubai, I noticed your control. I noticed your tension. And I said, Milan, please meditate, do this practice, and you've been following this meditation. You've been following my recommendation, which is very important. Then we met second time. Please tell me about that period.
The second time there was actually a sensory biological reaction where my body was shaking. And for me that was the first time that happened, right? So I had no idea. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? But I didn't try to understand it because I was with you. So I was like, okay, well, obviously I trust you to do what you were doing with me. But it felt like I was so much more open, and the body was intrinsically and intuitively reacting to what you were doing.
In difference with first session when your body didn't show anything. Second session, your body showed a reaction.
It was totally transformative in that respect. And I think the reflection to me is, okay, well, what did I learn? I learned that, by letting go of the control that I had, my body became more sensitive to energy. It became more sensitive to letting go and surrendering and allowing things to flow into my life. I became way more open, right? And that was just in 2 sessions, right? So that was really interesting. And then the third session was on a whole other level, right? Which was even more exciting.
So on third group session, when you came, you experienced the ecstasy. Please tell me more about it.
So I think the third session for me was very profound. And we allowed time in between each session to progress and heal and transform.
Yeah.
It wasn't like boom, 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 boom. It wasn't like really fast. And I think like, so when we met the third time, you know, we were lying down, and especially, I'm always thinking from a place of my mind, but when we did the third session, it was from like my heart had opened, and I remember like seeing biologically like something move in me, and as it went up throughout my body, there was just a very high degree of ecstasy, right? I was like, wow, I feel like I'm on some, you know, trip right now somewhere, because it was just the joy, the excitement, the letting go, the surrendering, and the tapping into the true power, right, of life compared to what you think is power, is you controlling. It's very limited, right? So you tap into something far more advanced, far more greater. So yeah, it was a very, very ecstatic experience.
So following what you're saying
Yeah.
now, Milan, I want to add something.
Yeah.
People come to me with conscious requests,
Yeah.
right? They want money, they want success, they want the right partner in their lives, whatever it is. It will never happen if you don't work over yourself.